Hello, my name is Marcus and welcome to Tabletop Reviews, which is currently on a every other week schedule, but I'll fix that. Anyways, today I'm having a look at a classic. It is Lord of the Rings, the Confrontation. Or this is a Swedish edition, so it's Sagan om ringen, slaget om Midgård. Midgård, I think it's in Swedish. But that it's Swedish doesn't really matter to anyone but me, because it still plays the same. So let's quickly get it to the table, as it already is. So set up and played. Okay, let's get it open here. So these are just some little homemade sheets for all the characters and the cards, just telling what they do. I made those myself. So let's start with the board here. So rather than a normal way, when the board would kind of be like this, so you had a side, you get a corner in this one. So the shadow player, of course, starts in Mordor, and this up here is the Shire for the Fellowship. And what you will do is you will take each of your 9 characters. 4 of them will start in your home base, and then there are 5 areas out here where the other ones will go. So, for example, the Fellowship would shape up something like this, and of course the chateau as well down here. Just flip the other side. There we go. And well, in the just regular game, each player gets this nice deck of cards that you just have all of them, so they don't shuffle up. It's just with all of them available. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 9 cards for each, which we use for combat. These cards here are for a little module. I'll just show that in just a second. But basically this is how you go, and the shadow player starts. And on your turn you can do one thing and one thing only. You can move. You can only move forward, and it's like every place has sort of 2 to go to. So this one can go into these 2 areas, this one can go into these 2 areas, this one can go into, right, and so on. Each of these spaces, and these spaces can contain 2 characters. These in the middle, where no one starts, are mountain spaces where only 1 character may stand. And basically just move this one up. Ooh, I move this one up. I move this one, and I move this one. And you keep on going back and forth until someone has won. Well, how the hell do you win? The Fellowship wins if Frodo reaches Mount Doom. What the hell is Frodo? Maybe I should have kept an overview of that. He starts. Is it going to be the last person to take? No. Frodo reaches down here. He wouldn't, of course, reaches here because there's 4 enemies, but reaches down here. The Fellowship wins. The bad guys win if they get 3 characters into the Shire, or if Frodo dies. Yeah. Now combat is obviously when an opponent is in here and you move into that space. The first thing you do is you reveal who is who, and then you check out the abilities on them. Now this is the walk, which ignores all effects by other characters, so Pippin's ability cannot be used in this example. But you will check out the abilities. Sometimes an ability kills someone immediately, like a lot of the Fellowship characters are focused on killing one specific enemy. Like Gimli kills the orcs, Legolas kills... Who was it that Legolas killed? Yeah, Gimli defeats the orcs, Legolas defeats the Nazgul. Boromir just kills both characters. But yeah, again, the walk, being the most ultimate badass, just ignores all abilities. And the hobbits, Pippin and Merry and Frodo. No, Merry also defeats someone. He defeats the Winds King. But Pippin and Frodo, they run away. Sam takes the place off Frodo, and Aragorn can just attack wherever. And now the shadow players are focused more on offensive abilities. So walk, as I say, ignores effects and is just down to strength. The troll just has strength, can't play a magic card. And then you have both the Witch King of Angmar, and you have the Black Rider, that's the orcs. The Black Rider and the Flying Nazgul, they can sort of attack in different ways, right? The Witch King of Angmar can attack sideways. the Black Rider can attack forward as much. So he could, for example, go from here all the way in here to attack. And the Flying Nazgul can attack wherever he wants. The Orc, if it goes into an area where there's 2 people, he kills the first one he meets immediately. Saruman can make sure that nobody plays cards this round. Now the 2 most interesting one is the Balrog and Shelob. Shelob, if she attacks and kills someone, she has to retreat to Mordor. If she can't, for example, if you have 2 people in Mordor and Shelob kills this character, she can't retreat here too, and therefore she's defeated. Now the Balrog actually nullifies an ability. If the Balrog is in Moria, no one from the Fellowship and someone from the Fellowship takes this crossbow. So there's a little arrow here the Fellowship can take to jump from Hillon all the way to Fangorn. But if the Balrog is there, you can reveal it, and the character is just dead. No matter who the character is, the character is dead. Another way the Fellowship can move a little different is from Dol Guldur to Lothlorien, or Lothlorien to Rohan. It's sort of following the river here. But only this way, you can't go this way. So the Fellowship is a lot weaker in terms of its strength, and also sort of in terms of its powers being focused on running away. But it does have these extra movement abilities. And, well, if there is a combat, as I say, let's say there's a combat here, you then also play cards. So, of course, except if Saruman says nobody plays cards, or the troll just has nothing. And, well, the Dark player has 6 strength cards, 1 to 6, to just add to its strength. And then 3 magical cards. Now the magic cards, this is just magic, just copies 1 of the 2 others that you have already played. This card here is one that where you can run away to the side. So you can sort of, you're in a battle, I think I'm gonna lose, I'm gonna, except you can't do that in the mountains. Like the mountains is completely nullified any and all abilities that doesn't just go forwards or backwards. Yeah, it's a special trait. And then you got something with this card is Eye of Sauron, which makes sure that the text card that the good players, the Fellowship plays, doesn't have an effect. Now the good players have the cards 1 to 5 in strength, and then has a few and 1 extra card in here. So of course it has the magic card that copies 1 that's already been played. It has the runaway card, but this one is backwards. But you have these ones. Then you have the opposite one of the Eye of Sauron, where the strength card doesn't count. And then you have this one where both figures are defeated. So sacrificing a character, which is also Boromir's ability, which is that both characters die if he's in the battle. So those are just base game components and the rules. I think it's a very confusing way of telling the rules. Now there is this module here with extra card, the Palantir, Mordor Calls, Gandalf the White, and Shadowfax. And what do these do? Well, the Palantir can be played, it's a one-time effect, can be played to reveal if these 2 are together. Well, let me see, who are they? Oh, they are Aragorn and Legolas. Okay, interesting. Mordor Calls retreats your forces, so like say that with the Balrog here, he retreats to Mordor. Now the good player has Shadowfax, which allows for an extra movement, right? Normally it's only 1 movement, but this one gives you an extra movement, and then you go to Fangorn, for example. It's just 2 movement but the movement from Shadowfax cannot be an offensive movement. It has to be just a tactical movement, right? I can use Shadowfax on this guy, and then this guy. I can't do that. Gandalf the White brings Gandalf back in play. Gandalf was over here somewhere. He was here. If he has been defeated, and you can bring him back in Fangorn. He comes back into Fangorn and he's ready to fight. Now you can't do it if there's an enemy there, or you already have 2 friends in there. But if you only have 1 friend or no friends, he can come back into Fangorn. And that's the sort of extra cards from this one. So I think that's all about the game. Let's get back to the table and talk about it. Alright, there we go. That is the beautiful game of Lord of the Rings, the Confrontation. Now, this one is one I have heard. I've heard quite a few good things about being a Lord of the Rings and a board game enthusiast, of course. I've heard a lot about the the Confrontation as this 2-player game. It's sort of like Stratego, but it's really a lot better. And it is. I mean, it's an eternity since I last played Stratego, but it is better. It most definitely is. Both with the cards and just abilities in the game, rather than just meeting and let's see how it goes. But yeah. But let's get into it. I mean, the setup is really simple. Of course, you just get your buddies here, your 9 figures, and then figure out how you want to place them. It is a little bit random, I think, but maybe that's just because we haven't played it 100 times yet, so I don't fully understand it. I do struggle sometimes to think, like, where do I put people? When I do, honestly, this is fairly accurate. I do sometimes end up having Boromir and Aragorn up front to just send Boromir in as a sacrifice and Aragorn ready to battle it out as my strongest character, one of my strongest characters. But yeah, also with the Shadow player, who do you put in front, who do you put behind? It's a little bit difficult, but I also understand that you can't have it be known. Like, it can't be a certain, like, the Witch King starts here and the shield up here and whatever. You can't have that be known, because you could absolutely use that. The unknown of what enemies are where is absolutely what brings this game up a notch in this basically hidden movement. Because sure, I know you move someone over there, but which of the 9 is it? And of course, as you dwindle away in the characters, it's troll. That's a good move. That is a good use of Boromir, if that ever happens. As they slowly chip away. So slowly chip away at your opponents, and oh, you have these 3 left, and the Witch King of Angmar is one of them, and Mary is right here, and I know the Witch King of Angmar must be one of your characters. Oh, is it this one? Oh, it was. It was. Yay! It was a good use, but it could also have not been. You know, it could have been Saruman instead, and then I'm just fucked, because Saruman just, well, nobody plays cards and you're dead. So both this unknown, but the cunning, and I absolutely, sometimes I read correctly, oh, the way you're moving that one so confidently, that must be the troll, the big strong guy. What can I do against him? Oh, you're moving that one passively. Maybe it's one of the weaker ones. Maybe it's the Wag. You're tempting me. But sometimes you also read incorrectly. I definitely actually went with an attack with Mary where I was like, that's the Witch King, and then it was the Wag. So obviously I struggled a little bit. Yeah. You can, and again, if you have someone in Moria, the Shadow play, is that the Balrog? I mean, it makes sense that it's the Balrog, right? But maybe it's just the Flugan and Nazgul, the flying Nazgul. It's just sitting here scaring me to not use this pass and instead go a long way around. And maybe then you set up an ambush where you have the Walk and the Balrog right here, and it's like, ooh, I'm gonna go around, and then, oh no, what if I messed up? I met the Walk. Anyways, super brilliant. I love it. That's just the gameplay, which I actually really like. Maybe I should try Stratego. Maybe it is also pretty interesting in terms of this complete unknowing of what the hell is going on in front of me, except for my own characters. Anyways, I also like the, if we talk theme, let's talk about the theme, because there is a lot of theme to be found in this one, where the Shadow players' cards, deck, and also to a certain extent the cards are just built around pure strength, right? You have way stronger characters. I mean, the weakest characters on this one is a 2. I mean, there's 2 2s, right? But you also have a 3. You have 3 5, 2 3s, a 4 and a 9 and stuff. Whereas mine is a lot of 1s, right? There's 2 1s, 2 2s, 2 3s. So I'm a lot weaker on that one, but my cards and my abilities are a lot more cunning. Boromir just sacrificing himself, and hopefully it's against the troll and not like against the orc, which is basically nothing. And even if you come with the orc, you think, I'm good on this one, but then you chose Gimli. Gimli, and now you're done for. I also really like that if there are 2 players in it, the attacking player chooses which one am I going to go for. Which is really good, because again, if I'm sitting here now, right now I have Gimli and Mary here, and you come in and it's the orcs, it's like the orcs. Well, you could reveal the orcs, and who do you want to face? Well, obviously I want to face Gimli, though. But because you come in and then randomly choose, you could choose Mary, which he immediately dies to the orcs, and then Gimli does come in and defeat the orcs after that. But I just let Mary, and it was a good defense against the Witch King. Now you know the Witch King is sort of safe from that, because Mary is gone. So yeah, really brilliant there. Let's talk about the module then. Anyways, where was it? Right, that was gameplay, but the thematic touch of the Fellowship having to use more cunning and magic, whilst the Shadow player just can come in with brute strength, also these cards being more strength oriented and stuff. I think it's absolutely brilliant and very thematic, because that is the way it was, right? The Shadow comes in with great strength, and the Fellowship have to use their cunning to survive. Let's talk quickly about the module, these two cards here. I think it's not very balanced. I think it's a pretty balanced game in itself, where with just these cards and stuff, but this is a bit unbalanced because the Palantir, just seeing two characters on the same floor, I mean, that happens very rarely. And if at some point you have like this board state from the Shadow player, well, I don't think it's gonna be any surprise who the hell these two guys are. And you know what? I just play Shadow effects, 1 movement, 2 movements, Frodo's Mortal, I win. So it's I don't see the super usefulness of it, especially because the other player can just go, oh, now you know this is Gimli. Who's who now, bitch? Like, you don't know that, because you can do that immediately. So the Palantir just seems like nothing, honestly. And then you have the Mordor calls, which is just retreating someone to Mordor. And I understand, like in this situation, you probably think, yo, get back to Mordor, you, to have some defense. I get it. But again, then maybe I just use Shadow effects to do this, and then I have 2 players right here. What are you gonna do? Because you know who one of them is. So it's, yeah. I don't see the super usefulness of these 2 cards. But these 2, man, an extra movement. As I say, in this situation here, if I have to his card 2 movements, bam, bam, I win. And I use that every time. I just get Frodo there, and then it's my turn. Okay, well, guess what? I get 2 movements. I win. And Gandalf the White again. Like, with this one in, I'm not afraid of putting Gandalf up front and just having him attack, right, immediately from the get-go. It looks something like this. You've done this movement to start off with. Well, Gandalf goes from Holland to Fangorn. Let's see what we can do. Who wins, who loses, whatever. And then I can resurrect him, right? Later on in the game, it's like, oh, you know what? I just got an extra character. It seems an unfair advantage. I would say if you are playing with a skill level, this is what they actually say in the rulebook, is if there's a skill level, play just one of the players have this one. Well, that player should be the Fellowship with these 2 play cards. It's an unfair advantage. But again, maybe that makes sense, that the good guys have stronger magic and more cunning again to fight against these incredible forces of the Shadow. Let's move on to components. The cards here feel like early 2000s cards. If I look at some of the other games that I have from that area with those cards, it's very much is the standard card. Is it bad? No, not at all. It's fine, but I can feel that these are not modern, really awesome cards that I get from, for example, Distilled, or even the new War of the Ring 2nd edition, really quality cards. These are the cheap cards that are quickly made. The artwork, on the other hand, is this amazing artwork. It doesn't say the artist on here. Yo, yes, it does. It's John Howe, the one I believe to be it. The illustrator is John Howe, who does so much of the Lord of the Rings stuff that I have, and it's such a wonderful artwork. I really like it. Maybe it's in a lot of games, I don't know, but I really like this artwork from John Howe. The characters are also very captured down here. I mean, it of course doesn't look like the movie versions. It looks like their own versions, and I have to admit, Pippin, Merry, and Frodo really look similar when I'm just looking at them. I have to like, oh, this is Pippin, okay. But the other ones are nice and distinct, and I recognize them almost immediately, and especially also with the enemies. These stands are nice. I mean, it's a simple way of doing it, just putting these ones in here with some decent enough cardboard that I don't touch, but these stands are really nice. I would have loved it was oriented like that instead, and I think that in the 2005 version, the second version of this one, whatever. That's what they do, and I know that in the new version that was just done on GameFound a couple of months ago by Ghost Galaxy, they all do it like this, and that makes a lot of sense. I would prefer them to stand like this, but it's okay, I have them like this. The board is also very nice. A lot of the places you sort of recognize, right? Like you look in here and you see Bree with the walls, you see the beautiful little Rivendell Isengard standing over here, Edoras, Florian is a very, very beautiful illustrated and done on the board here, where you recognize all the areas. And the good thing is that instead of just having drawn a black line down, like this is an area, it's done with the environment, right? Like the difference between Rohan and Fangorn is that it's a forest. This is a great grassland. It's a tight forest. That was noisy. The river runs down here to create a cut in the landscape. So really, how they do it with the landmarks rather than just being cut up is really awesome. Again, down here is a river that just cuts through. It looks so natural. It's so awesome. So really, really beautiful on the components, on the artwork there, and the components are fine. I mean, it is sort of early 2000s components, if we can say it like that. But yeah, awesome artwork. So, does it lie to you? Well, it doesn't. It's 2 players all the way through. I don't see a time on here how long it takes to play at all. Is it on the back of the box here, maybe? Du spiller fra 12. Spilletid cirka 30 minutter. 30 minutes. Yeah, about. I mean, yeah, that's fairly accurate. You could do it in half an hour or less. It's a fairly short and quick game. It's only for 2 players, of course. It is a 2-player game, so that's not a lie right there. And then from 12 years and up. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, of course I have a Swedish version, which is going to make it a little bit more difficult, these things in here. But if you do understand the language, I don't think there's too much to worry about. Like, it's move forward or attack, which sometimes can happen to other sides. So yeah, I get it. I guess, yeah. I mean, the only thing would be these cards. You need to adjust for these cards, remember what they do, and then, oh right, I could do this to attack. But other than that, 12 years is probably fairly accurate. So, what am I going to give it? What is my final score for this game? Well, my score for this game is going to be a 7 out of 10. Yes, I think it's a very neat game. Maybe it's an 8. No, it's a 7. It's a 7 out of 10. It's a good game. It's a fun 2-player game. It's a short 2-player game. That's also very nice, which I can probably get my wife to play a couple times with me. I think it's pretty well balanced in the base form of it. It's very well balanced, and it has that asymmetry to it from the Shadow to the Fellowship. It's a very lovely there. I just think it falls down because absolutely being a better player matters in this game. There isn't a lot of luck to it, and I do win. I do win against my wife most of the time just by understanding the aspects of the game, the powers of the monsters. It takes her a little bit of a while to get used to it. And this is not balanced. I don't think this is balanced. This goes to the Fellowship, absolutely. So yeah. So that's what drags it down to 7, but the reason that Kozo comes up is this thing of it being a short game, being very thematic. It is very thematic, and it's from Reineken, so that's not always thematic games, but it is pretty damn thematic here. Beautiful artwork, and it's just a fun 30 minutes. 20-30 minutes, I would say. Like, you could do this in 20 minutes if you're... It's cool. It's a really beautiful game. I'm really happy that I have it. I'm getting the Ghost Galaxy version, and I think I might have a way to get a hold of the 2005 Fantasy Flight version, which would be pretty cool. Having 3 versions of this game, is that too much? Nah. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!